Hello, welcome everyone to a new episode on Immigrant Bazaar. As usual, your hosts are me, Anwar,
Bahram.
and again, as usual, we're going to talk about things that matter for immigrants in the United States. And today's topic is an episode on driving trucks and how to make a living out of it.
And the driving truck and how to make a living out of it is very important in subject in the US. So to give you guys a little background, there are 3.5 million truck drivers in this country, and there are a total 7 million jobs related to trucking industry, whether those are drivers, could be dispatchers, brokers, technicians, mechanics, anything related to trucking. So those represent approximately 6% of the country's jobs. Last year, there was 780 billion worth of goods that were hauled by trucks. And that's far above anything else like boat, air, cargo. That said, we have a guest in our episode today who has been driving trucks for the last 3 years, who has some experience that he would like to share with us. We're going to be asking some questions, and we'll look forward for that episode to be helpful for everyone, whoever wants to start driving truck and later maybe having their own business in truck driving. That said, I would like to welcome our guest for this episode, and his name is Gafur Aliyev, and he is I personally know Gafur the last 4 years, I guess. Yes, 4 years, and it's been he's going to tell more, of course, about himself, but it's been great knowing him, and he's the one who actually has a lot of experiences, not only from driving trucks, but also having a family. He has a family of 5 kids, and he's going to share some more information about how to balance a life of having 5 kids at the same time driving truck and being successful in both of them. That said, Gafur, I'll let you introduce yourself and give us your background.
Hello to everyone.
Welcome to the channel.
Welcome. Thank you very much. So, yes, as Bahram said, I've been the truck driver for 3 years already, and I work mostly the tractor trailer, 53 feet trailer, and I drive across the country.
So you came in 2016, I believe, right? Is that okay?
Yeah, no, we came 2015.
2015. Okay.
So yeah, September 2015, and the first my job was not as a truck driver. So I made.
So how did you hear? How did you hear about truck driving?
How did you find out?
How did it start? I guess how did it start? I know it's different for everybody else. Like, I mean, there is something, everybody has their own kind of unique circumstances that they decide to do whatever they decide to do. So what happened with you?
About trucking and truck drivers, I have my old brother here in US. So we talked to him a lot about this, and he explained me that the truck driving is kind of a good job for the people who come to US and kind of doesn't have any high college degree or something, who can start in US right away after coming.
Yep.
And the trucking is easy to start, kind of for the people who has a driver experience, even a small car.
As long as you know how to drive, it's kind of good start, right? I mean, you just have to be confident.
Yeah, as long as you know how to drive and you have like common sense how to know the vehicle, its parts, and the engine, like stuff like that, how it work and what of consists. You know, you don't know just the brake and gas. Or know something more.
Yeah, that's definitely
So-
true. Go ahead.
So before starting driving trucks here, you didn't have any experience of driving trucks back at home, right? This was
I had
new to you.
some experience as a mechanic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and second, my father was a truck driver
Okay.
back in our country.
Mhm.
And what else? And I had
Yeah,
experience, not big experience driving smaller trucks like a Russian Gazelle, if you know Gazelle.
Okay. Yeah. It's like a
Oh,
minibus kind of.
oh,
Yeah.
Kamaz. What about Kamaz?
Kamaz. No, I was just sitting couple times inside the Kamaz, but
So those were your aspirations that you were like, okay, I like this experience of of coordinating or driving this kind of vehicle that carries tons of things, right? So
yeah.
probably was.
And another thing is when you see on YouTube or TV, the trucking industry, the big American trucks, the American roads, nature, you travel a lot. It's very interesting.
I've actually I've heard about a lot of people going into trucking, and I've heard there's a lot of rumors about like the amount of money you can make as a truck driver. I think that could be one of the drivers for immigrants. And as you said, in terms of like requirements to get into it, it's not very high threshold. You can get that license. We'll talk about that probably later. But one of the things, I think an important thing to touch upon is the amount of money you make. So compared to like working at a warehouse or doing some other manual job.
Or like working as Uber, right? Uber even, right?
Or even Uber, yeah. Like Uber drive. Truck driving a truck does pay more, right? Can you clarify?
Yeah, it's high paid job. First, because it's not easy job. It's not easy to be truck driver. It's a lot of stress on the road. It's danger. And you have to drive all 4 seasons: winter, summer, spring, or fall. It's not a job like for everyone.
You have your own office, right? This is your office, though, right? That's an office.
Yeah.
You sit in your own office. You own your own boss, though, right? Nobody comes and says, "Hey, where's? Did you go to the meeting, or did you do this? Did you do that?"
You own your boss, but it's not the job. If you just say, "Oh, I want to be the truck driver," you have to try it, do it, and see is it for you or not.
That's a great point. I mean, yeah, because if you think about it, every job you get in this country.
If you think only about, I want to go for trucking only because of money, like you cannot make good money if you're not a professional. You have to be professional driver. It's not a small car driver. That's why you may like it, you may not like it.
And it's physically demanding, right? Being, I don't quite know the limits. Is there a limit per day, in terms of hours, how many hours you can work?
Yeah, you can work, you have a shift, 14 hours. 14 hours.
14 hours. Wow.
11 hours for driving, 3 hours for doing something else.
Bathroom and something
3
else.
hours you have for loading, unloading, or like 3 hours on duty and 11 hours for driving. Total is 14 hours.
How about bathroom breaks, or you want to have lunch, food? Is that included in those?
You all included in these 14 hours. Restroom, driving, or
Everything.
So the 10 hours is basically your own 10 hours. You do whatever you want to do, like sleeping, anything else from the 24 hours. So
10 hours is for your rest. You gotta sleep well, shower, or whatever. It's your time.
Yeah,
You
14-hour shift sounds like pretty difficult, actually. Physically, not everyone can do that.
like holding
Yes,
14 hours. So if I come to United States, right? So I mean, I come to United States, I won a green card lottery, right? So somehow I'm already here. I need to, I may have a college degree, but I cannot find a job for whatever economic reasons or anything else. What kind of requirements? What are the requirements out there that you need to have to get your commercial driver's license to be able to start driving? What do you need to do, like study in the take classes, for like to get the regular license in the United States? There's certain things you need to bring, right? You need to bring this, that, and for kids you have to go to driving school, take hours of classes, and depending on state as well. So
for in order to get it's called CDL Class A. CDL Class A, commercial driver license. So first you have to go to DMV with your regular driver license and get a permit to go to the test.
okay.
To knowledge test, like computer test. You have 3 tests. Total is gonna be 100. No, 3 tests is general knowledge test. Second is air brake test, because the trucks, they have the air brakes. And the third test, combination vehicles like tractor, trailer. You passed 3 tests, you get the permit, CLP. With this permit, you can go to any truck driving school. Any truck driving school, mostly they have a package. They call it package. You get the classes, like 10 classes driving or 20 or 30. And the pricing, it depends on this. The average is cost like $2,000.
For the classes.
The package of 10, 15 driving classes. Yeah. So
those, I'm sorry. So just to clarify, those 3 exams you said, right, at the beginning, before you get your permit, those are just theory exams. You don't drive anything. You just read the book, right? So as long as you know English, you can read the book. You can, take the first, go to DMV with your driver's license, and, through the process, pass those 3 exams. Correct? It's not the driving. It's just all theory, right?
No, it's not driving. Computer test, general knowledge test is the first. Is only the question. The question with 4 answers, like
A
test.
test question, yeah.
You choose the right one. Is general information about the truck, some physics question about the brakes, the weight of how you should drive in different weather, like general questions.
And where do you get those questions? I mean, do you have to study from like website of that state?
You get the manual from the motor vehicle agency, like DMV.
Oh, okay.
When you get the book,
each state has its own, or is it the same across everywhere in US? Is it all the same, different from New York to PA to Massachusetts, and
They should be same, but some states have less questions, like for example 50, 60 or 40 or more or less. And in general, it's all same, all about the trucks. Like mostly question about the trucks, about the small cars, who has the like the questions, for example, what kind of truck stops quickly, loaded or empty?
Oh, okay.
I like general questions.
Some logical questions, I guess, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
some-
You can study answers for these questions from the manual book, or if you, after reading, you don't understand what does it mean, even to pass the general test, you have to go to any school.
Okay, okay.
So they teach you, they show you examples, explain, or maybe they put you any video or CD or something else they teach you.
And then 10, 15 classes for $2,000 doesn't seem like very expensive. I mean, it's not cheap, but it's not too expensive to get into profession, I would say.
This, for this question, for this, let's say, it depends also on the school. Some schools, like a very professional school, they charge you more, like up to 10,000. And then the studying period is like 3 months to 4 months. They teach you everything, like very professionally.
So you just said it, 3-4 months. So from start, let's talk about state of New York, right? Which is, I mean, you may know because you live in New Jersey. Say I start from the beginning with so today is the first day. I have my driver's license. I want to go to DMV, start the process, right? How long do you think from start to end? Not optimistically, but realistically, how long do you think it will take for me to start the process until I can get my driver's license, CDL license? How long total process takes? If I do well, of course, and pass the exam, of course.
No, the process is the hardest part of all this starting and the starting studying to being a truck driver before start your job. The hardest part is to pass the test, to pass the road test at DMV. Normally they schedule for the road test. If you failed once, the next your road test is going to be in 3 months, sometimes in 6 months.
Oh, really?
Very busy. Yeah. For me to get a CDL, I spent two years and almost $10,000.
Wow.
Because you have to study, you have to take the classes again after. Do they make you take the classes again if you pass?
No,
I mean, if you fail.
It's like when you have money and you may not work until you get CDL, then you spend less time. But I worked and I discussed with the school. I said,
okay,
I can come on the Saturdays because Sunday, because I had only 1 day off. And if I take 10 classes, okay, 10 classes.
That's 10 weeks.
10 weeks, yeah. It's 2.5 months.
Yeah.
That's why it depends on you.
So for retaking the road test, you said you have to wait 3 months or 6 months. Is that because of the long line or is the rule by the government?
It's not by the government. The DMV was very busy at that time. I don't know about now.
So it could depend. I guess it could depend on the state, right? Let's say maybe you go to Virginia, maybe the wait is only 2 weeks. It could be, right? I mean,
maybe,
there is no.
And another thing, you cannot go with the, for example, New Jersey permit to every state. So you can go to Pennsylvania and you cannot go to Florida. You have to know. You have to call the states, the schools, talk with them. I have a New Jersey permit or I have a New York permit. Can I come or can I go another state?
But once you get the license, once you get the license though, you can drive anywhere you want. It's the same license, right? So once you get the license, you can drive anywhere you want. I mean, it's no difference in terms of you got a license in New Jersey, you can drive even to Alaska through Canada if you want to, right?
Yeah, as soon as you got the license, you can drive to any state, from any state. The only you need experience and you have to be the safe driver. Safety is first.
It's a good point.
So going chronologically, it seems like we're going step by step. So we talked about the school, and then let's say you got your license. The next thing to do is to find a company to work for. Do you work as a contractor? How does it work usually?
Yeah, after you get your license, for example, me, I went to the first company who said we good to hire you like as a test period without experience. But not every company will take you without experience just because of your CDL. You have to prove the CDL. And you look at them, they look at you, they test you, they simply take you with their trucks to their yard, give you the keys, and they test you how you do the like
turns and
backing up, parking stuff, shifting.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
a separate road test.
It feels like another DMV road test, right?
Yeah. You, of course, and you scared if they take me or not, After this, if you passed, some companies, they do like what is called orientation with you. Some good and serious big companies, they have like facility classes, equipment, because the trucking is not just the driving. You have to know the documentation, how to fill the truck, and document how to fill your daily logbook about your job, and documentation about the truck.
So definitely knowledge of English is important. You need to know how to read and write properly, understand what is being asked, and you need to talk to the destination people, who accept your good, or when you pick up your goods, right? I mean, you need to be able to speak well, not necessarily perfect, but understand.
The English is like is one of the most important parts, because how you gonna work later if you don't know English? If you came, for example, to the city of Chicago with million cars and hundreds of streets and companies, you're late for your pickup appointment, and you circling around the city. You cannot find the company, the address of the company who you're taking load. You got to call them, ask them.
What about the cases when? Okay, so when you said you could start just like with, is it independent contractor or is it W-2? Like meaning you employee for them. In other words, they give you like a benefit where you can have like a day off here and there, and they pay you or whatever. Or is it just straight independent contractor? They say, okay, you're gonna drive this much, you're gonna get this much. That's it, and.
It depends on the company. Some take you as an independent contractor. The big companies, for example, like Swift or JB Hunt, the big companies, the other companies, they take you as a like on W-2, whatever. Every company has his own like policy, and they have different drivers. They work with owners, operators who work on 1099, or you're gonna be the company driver. They pay you. You discuss with them like daily rate, hourly, or you get paid by mileage. It depends.
So if you work for a company, let's say as a W-2A or contractor, independent contractor, are you responsible to responsible for car damages to the truck, or how does that work? Because things can happen, accidents can happen.
Yeah,
How do they
you
deal with that?
for my first company, I worked as a driver. I started with, they paid me 55 cents per mile, and I was not responsible for the damages, which were not made by me. For example, your tire blowout, or I don't know, something else.
Somebody
happens.
comes and hits you, right? Some other
Yeah,
small car
something can
comes and
happen. Yeah, always. Yeah.
But as soon as you driving, any accident, if your responsibility, you have insurance, but still this accident is coming on your record. And later, if you go to other company, or you open your own company, you might face some problems with the insurance. They give you a high rate, or the other company may not hire you because your driver license is not clean. You're not safe driver.
So, if you work for the company, they pay for the insurance, right?
Yeah, the company pays for insurance, for maintenance, for diesel, for everything is related to this. Like everything is belong to the company. They fix the truck, they wash it,
And if you stay at a hotel, they have to pay probably, right? Hotel stays.
It depends on the company. Some companies, they're cheap, they don't pay you. Some companies, the company I start work with, they buy me a flight ticket. They got me Uber. They take me to the Hilton Hotel.
Nice.
In Houston, Texas. So it depends how. Some of them, like the good people, they started with the truck driver and they understand what is the truck driving. That's why.
So I guess in some cases, as you become truck driver, you know the business well. You know, like 92%, I believe, 92% of the businesses in the country, truck company businesses, truck delivery businesses, I guess, the country owned by small businesses. So those are small businesses. They have like from 6 to 10, I believe the statistics was trucks. Not, you talk about Swift and, all those other, JB Hunt, all those companies, those are huge companies. They have thousands and thousands of trucks, I believe.
Yeah.
But, 92% of the truck driving companies are small companies in the US. So, I mean, if you have good relationships with them, they'll take care of you. So,
Yeah,
I mean, that's
this right, and it's a little bit funny because some guys who I know, they say, "Oh, I have my own company." He has his own company, but the company has only one truck, and this guy is driving his truck. But you can
Very
say, "Oh,
small
I have my
business.
company."
So speaking of those, let me ask you this. So you said they could be owner operator, right? I think that's what it's called, owner operator, right? Those who drive on their own.
He owns the truck. Yeah, he's called owner operator.
So in that case, if you, let's say if I become owner operator, so that means I need to have my own truck. I purchase my own truck, whatever the price is, and then everything on me, right? So when it comes to, I buy my own insurance, everything, it's like my own company. I have to do everything on my own, right? So
Yeah.
I need to really know everything in and out well, so that I can, pretty much do everything in terms of getting the orders, delivering the orders, buying the insurance, making sure order is safe and sound when it gets there. Everything is on me, buying the diesel. I mean, pretty much everything. So the question is, what is the benefit of doing that versus, let's say if you have money, versus just being like lazy, or even just working as
Working
independent
for a
contractor.
company.
Yeah, like what is I know probably you make more money, but there's more risks involved, right?
Yeah, of course, the risks involved, and you have more risk, and you of course make more money than the regular driver.
Go ahead.
The owner operator, they all at the beginning they all were the drivers, the regular drivers. They worked for someone.
Mhm.
And slowly after they finance the truck or they buy the truck, they want more to be independent.
Mhm.
For example, they work hard 1 month and they another 1 month they stay home or travel. They own boss for themselves.
Mm. So
You can
yeah, I just wanted to clarify when you say work hard. So I'm curious. Let's say if I'm working on as an independent contractor for a company, and you said the shifts are 14 hours. You know, per month, how many miles does it? Because you know you're getting paid by miles. Does it go like in thousands of miles every month? Is there like some sort of an
in
average?
14 you have 14 hours, you cannot make more than 600 miles a day.
Okay.
So
More
the
than
maximum is 600 miles.
And the,
Yeah, because on average we count 60 miles per hour.
per hour, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So
when you
how about weekends? Do you work on weekends or
no
okay.
you have 70 hours in 1 week.
70?
70
Total.
hours
Oh, okay.
total, yeah.
Okay.
Which is 5 days, right?
5 days, yep.
5 days. You have 11 hours for driving for 1 year, which in these 11 hours you cannot drive non-stop, right? You have to stop, check your truck every like 200 to 300 miles.
But there are some people. So in your case, right? In your case, usually before you would go even so right now because of of your family and trying to keep the balance, I guess you said you come over, that's those 70 hours are usually Monday through Friday for you, right? More or less, right? Not Saturday, Sunday, right? But some other people could actually have different schedule, right? So in other words, they can leave home for 1 month, right? And then come back, sleep in between, make those 70 hours differently, right? So I mean, I guess it all depends on how your own schedule, your own preferences, how you want to run those times.
For example, if you start driving on Monday from New Jersey to Ohio, you have one load, right? You want to go and come back and take a longer load to California from New York. So you went on Monday to Ohio, you waste your 14 hours, and coming back another 14 hours. You spent out of 70 hours 28 hours. How much you left? Have like 42 hours. 42 hours you make your schedule. If it is enough for you going to California from New York, you can start driving. But if you can stay home for 34 hours, like 1.5 days, when your truck is parked, your electronic logbook device in 34 hours give you the new weekly shift, the new shift
okay.
of
70 hours.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then you start with
That's
70
interesting.
hours.
So
After
the whole
every
point is
74 hours,
they want you to, I guess, to rest, right? That's what they try to do, right? They want you to rest, make sure you don't overwork and tired, and you said it's an important job. You have to be focused. It's a very serious,
yeah, you have to be focused every minute. It's not like you can do something in your small car with trucks. It's not gonna work. You can fly to the, I don't know. Every 14 hours you have to rest, you have to sleep well. It's hard for your eyes, for your brain and everything.
So if some people don't want to go long distance, if they want to see their family more often, is there any option of like putting restrictions? Let's say if you live in New Jersey, you say, oh, I'm gonna go to, I can drive trucks in area around me in these states, but not California. Is there a choice like that? Or no?
Yeah, any choice, but it depends on the company and boss of the company, how they help you, how they get in your situation. Nuance,
Yeah,
Nuances, yeah.
a lot of nuance, heavy load, light load, full trailer, like drop your trailer and drop the loaded and take the empty, go back, you don't waste your time. Or you do local, like for example, you're doing delivery, you have the road which you know already, you're doing every day, like you have to deliver to 5 stores. It's your schedule, you start like 4 a.m. and 3 p.m. you're done, you're going home. It depends on the company. They do local or long distance and what kind of truck you're driving. You have the refrigerator or you carry only dry loads.
Oh, that's actually interesting. I wanted to ask, does it make any difference on the pay, like the type of truck you drive? Do you get paid more for?
In this truck driving job, the more hard is the work, the job, the more hard you get paid. If you want to be home every day and sleep in your bed and take a shower, you cannot make a good money. This job is not for you.
I see.
You have to be ready sometimes not to do shower like for 7 days.
Oh, wow.
You have to be ready. It's not like
at home,
yeah,
right?
yeah, it's not like you must drive without doing shower, but you're getting sometimes very tired, this.
Yeah.
Obviously, as far as I know from the experiences that I hear, there's truck stops, you rest, of course, right? You sleep.
Yeah.
The trucks have their own beds, right? In the back of the driver's seats, is bed. You can sleep. Obviously, there's a bathroom, and there's, restaurants where you can eat and you can take a shower. But like you said, there could be sometimes urgency to deliver the good or whatever within the certain amount of time. So let's say you got stuck in traffic or your tire blew up, and things happen, and then now you're getting late. You have to keep going. 11 hours nonstop driving. At that time, of course, stress will come, right? You'll be like sleepy, and then all those.
Yeah, of course. Let's say you bring the load to the Walmart distribution center. They work you in, you backed up in a dock. They unload you up to 7 hours. 7 hours, you have to be in your truck and wait until they're done. You cannot complain. You cannot say, hey, I'm tired. Please do it quickly. Or I got to go to get a lunch or something else. Yeah, just relax.
That's tough.
Yeah, sometimes you're wasting your time, but nobody
Part of the
cares.
business.
Nobody
Part of the
cares.
business, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's part of a business. They have their own process. It may take them half hour, may take them 7 hours, may take them 11 hours.
Oh, that's a lot of waiting.
Yeah, and sometimes you get paid for your time, like detention. Sometimes you may not get paid. It depends on the brokers, on the company. So in this business, like in truck driving industry, everything is on the driver. It doesn't depend on the truck on the diesel quality or how much you get paid. Yes.
So in terms of doing it yourself, let's say I want to be, this owner-operating company. Do you need like a huge investment? Can you finance with a bank like similar to a mortgage? Let's say, is that possible or?
Yes, you can finance, but you cannot be the guy like from the street. You like have a big muscles and you just simply you have your CDL. You just wanna simply get the truck and start rolling. You have to have experience. Even if you wanna finance the truck, they check your experience, the company you worked for, like the basic like background check, what it's called, like they want to make sure how you're gonna pay for this truck. If you just want a truck and after in 2 weeks driving and say, oh, that's not for me, it's not easy, and you cannot return the truck, right? That's why.
And some companies like you can buy the truck from them and work for them, right? So it's gonna be like you lease from them, lease to own kind of thing, right? So you kind of
a lot
finance.
of options. You can lease from them, work for them like for 3-5 years, and be for most of them like a slave. But
Interesting.
you can work as a driver or lease and without any say hard contracts. If you're tired, you can return the truck. That's it. You can save some your own money and buy not the new, not the expensive, a little bit the cheaper, the used truck.
So as we're getting into the more details, let's talk about some numbers. So let's talk about what is, like, in terms of investment, like just getting back to what Anwar was asking earlier, in terms of investment, how much would it be? How much money would I need if I wanted to get my own truck, right? Not necessarily a new truck, maybe decent truck to start the business, assuming I have already experience, right? So how much? What is the threshold, minimum threshold to have?
I see a lot of used trucks starting from $30,000.
$30,000?
$30,000, the used one,
I thought they were a lot more expensive.
No, this the $30,000 has enough mileage on it.
Okay.
Yeah, and with this kind of truck, you gotta have some couple mechanics friends.
Take them with you, right?
Yeah.
Take them with you.
You're gonna visit them often. You're gonna make them often regular good gifts.
So $70,000-$80,000, right? So say not at that level, but $70,000-$80,000 to up to $100,000. You can probably get a good truck that gonna do a better job, right, to serve you. And if you work, let's say, owner operator, right? So you don't really go with the bank or you don't go with somebody leasing. You just say, okay, I want to be my own. We talked about the fact that there is insurance you buy, there is liabilities. You have to have contracts and stuff. So $80,000 to $100,000, I can buy my own car. I can start driving, be my own company. Is it correct?
Yeah. With 70, 60, even with 50 and up, you can find a good truck. You can start making
and you
money.
Still do you still have to be part of some company to use their dispatchers to work, to use their own broker network to get
you have to work with a company, or your own company or someone's company, because you have to have the DOT numbers. The
Department of Transportation. Department of Transportation.
Okay.
DOT numbers. You register under the company. for the loads, you can search the loads by yourself, or the company's dispatchers look the load for you. They send you the confirmation, the prices. If you're ready to get this load, if you like the price and the distance and other stuff, you're taking it. Or you find your load by yourself. You send it to dispatcher. Same. The dispatcher is gonna book the load for you.
Oh, okay.
So one
You
last question
still work
about
as a company.
one last question about the numbers, right? I like the numbers because I'm a numbers guy, right? So no numbers. So you said if I work as an employee, right? So it's by mile. You get paid by mile. Say 55 cents, 60 cents, start like something like that, right? So I mean by mile. Assuming that, how much do you think new first time without experience can make in a month if he works hard, if he's patient, of course, and all those characteristics and things we discussed in terms of making sure you sacrifice. You cannot just sleep at home every night. So if you follow in those instructions and do whatever you can, how much do you think they can start with per month?
Per month, let's say per week, then
per week.
But you can make the very lazy driver, the very lazy truck driver, the very cheap paid company like Swift, they pay you 40 cents per mile. You can make 1,200 in 1 week.
70 hours. 70 hours.
Yeah, at least.
But what about good, a hardworking driver and company?
The last company which I worked for, they paid me the top 70 cents per mile.
Nice.
70 cents per mile. If you drive 3,000 miles, you have 2,100.
So it's around $8,500 to $9,000 a month, assuming you work 70 hours. Okay, sounds good. And what about if I do my own owner operator? Is it going to be much more? How much more? I know, knowing there's cost, insurance cost, diesel cost, that cost, dispatch cost, broker cost. How much would it be, do you think, with the owner operator?
With the owner operator, when I started on 2017, the owner operators mostly were rich because they got paid for the rate for the loads was around $4 per mile.
$4 per mile. Oh, wow. That's a lot more than 55, 60 cents.
If you drive 3,000 miles, you could make 9,000, right?
Well, if you get three, but there's some expenses though, right? I mean,
diesel, right? The diesel,
insurance, all the
insurance.
Yeah, of course, expenses. But still, if the rates are high, it's good for the drivers.
Yeah, Baron, if you calculate 3,000 per week, $4 per mile, that's 12,000. Of course, there's diesel costs and everything else, but that's a huge sum.
12,000 per week. It's going to be
per week. That's huge.
minus there is. I mean, I think I've heard it was averaging around $2 after the expenses, right? I mean, is that true? After the expenses, $2 a mile. Is so instead of 50 cents, is it like 3 or 4 times more? Do you think? Is that true? Could it be true after expenses?
The expenses?
Yeah, like after all the expenses, you have like diesel expenses, insurance expenses, after everything else. Do you think it's still they make?
No, the insurance is not the insurance you pay once in a month.
Yeah, it's not that much, right?
Yeah, the high expense you have is your diesel and the toll roads. If you cross the toll road, it's your daily expenses. The tolls and the diesel, and of course sometimes you may lose your tire.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All the mechanical issues. Yeah.
Or the deer hit your truck, not you hit the deer. Deer hits your truck.
Deer attack.
Yeah, deer attack. So
Okay.
expenses, you have expenses, yeah. But
So have things changed since 2017? Is it so lucrative still?
since
Or
2017, the last year, a lot of companies get out of business. They shut.
oh,
They shut
because
down. Yeah.
because of COVID, or is it was before COVID?
Even before COVID. Even
Oh,
before COVID, with these
Tariffs, right? Tariffs. Trade issues.
with the China issue, let's say
Yeah,
China
trade
issue.
issues.
oh, the trade issues. Oh,
Trade issues.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
There were not simple loads. You cannot find a load.
So the rates went down.
Yeah, the big companies, they can drive with a very small rate, but the small company, when they trade, when the rate's low, you get paid for the load. But you pay your driver, you pay your diesel, you pay your other stuff, and nothing left for you. That's why most companies get out of business.
Wow, I didn't know about that. So it was because of that trade issue.
Yeah.
I think with COVID now, economic activity for some time was very low. Just people weren't going out.
COVID, the COVID didn't hurt the truck industry that much.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, especially Amazon.
Oh, right. Makes sense. Yeah.
Everything went online. People don't go to the store; they go to Amazon.
You still have to transport all of that. Yeah.
Amazon needs the truck drivers and the trucks.
Yes. So 72% of the everything, like I was saying earlier, of everything that this country moves is done by trucks. So
yeah.
So I mean, the economy goes down, but because of people shopping online, everything online. Probably like Amazon, like itself is probably Amazon, Walmart, all those guys now are doing a lot of online businesses. So obviously,
Yeah, when you see the full stores, Walmart and Costco and other stuff, it's all because of the truck drivers.
Yeah, and the fact is, actually, I read somewhere, if truck drivers all stop working one day, 3 days, it takes 3 days for grocery stores to be empty. 3 days.
Yeah, that's right.
If you stop, so if everybody stops, all those 3.5 million I was mentioning, everybody stops. So it's very important. So yeah, actually, we're proud that you represent, and we are proud to have you in our podcast.
Thank you. If you guys like the strawberry, but truckers get not good paid for their job, one day they're gonna stop all in California for 3 days.
No one will get
any piece of strawberry here in East Coast.
Okay.
So one question, I think it's probably far-fetching, but I've seen Tesla and other. So there's commercials of self-driving trucks.
Electric trucks.
It hasn't. Yeah, electric trucks without the driver, with this self-driving capability. There's nothing like that on the roads right now, right? It's just plan in the planning
in other words, you didn't see anybody driving a truck.
You haven't seen a truck without a driver, right?
Unless driver was somewhere else.
Right now, I think there's not good idea to put your expensive Tesla truck on the road. I have heard about that, but right now there is no any such trucks on the road. They can put such trucks on the roads which is straight. Like let's say like 300, 300 miles or less, the straight road. They just simply send the truck without managing it, I don't know, somehow, and to meet the truck at point B, disconnect his trailer or whatever. But right now, I think it's not possible. and maybe it's possible, but what they gonna do is millions of truck drivers?
Yeah.
They
That's
gotta
a
find
very
them
good
a
question.
job.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
a lot
I think
of yeah.
I think the future is bright for trucking business, truck driving, and I'm in the last few years I've been always hearing there is a shortage of truck drivers, and I believe that's true because, like, you know, Omar was mentioning earlier. I mean, you were mentioning earlier about Amazon and about Walmart and everything. Everything is becoming online, and everything is becoming more or less, you know, everybody is doing online, so everything is becoming more on trucks, and the importance of truck drivers cannot be underestimated. So it's for sure. So I think that's far-fetched for now.
Yeah, and especially for immigrants, once you get your CDL and manage to get your first job without experience, you know, you get your foot in the door, a little bit of time, and then you're in this business, which has very good income if you work hard, obviously, and if you work professionally. And it seems like, you know, if you become owner operated, it can be even better. So,
Yeah, the truck driving is good. It's nice job. Is mostly for the people. I think so. For the people who not married yet, who doesn't have kids, and someone who calls him every day, hey, when you coming? And next is for the people whose kids independent already, like 15 years, 18, 20 years.
mhm.
So he can work, he can be out of home for 2 weeks or maybe for a month
Mhm. Yeah.
and bring home good money.
Well, I think we got all the questions we had answered. So
Yeah, I think this was very informative, right? It's
yes.
kind of a little bit of infomercial for truck driving business. People get into it. It's good income. It's good job. It's not easy, but it's definitely an option for immigrants.
Another thing, it's not easy. It's not easy, but when you know what to do and how to do, it's very easy.
Mm.
If you have English, and if you have English, that's good. You have navigation, you have maps, you have nice roads,
Mhm.
you have good infrastructure for the truck drivers
Mhm.
on the road, like a shower, the gas stations, the stores, motels, hotels.
Sounds
But
good.
on the
Sounds good.
road, yeah,
I think, like I was saying, the future is bright. As long as somebody is really interested in this and they committed doing this well, they will succeed for sure. It looks like the opportunity is there, you know, in terms of even buying or leasing or working. As long as you want to work hard, as long as you're flexible, as long as you're patient, you will do really well. It's just a matter of, probably with any other job, it's a matter of your own personal situation. What do you want to accomplish, and, you know, how much you want to give up in on your own, you know, time, you know,
Mhm.
leisure, you know, stress, or all those things that kind of part of this. That said, I think we would like to appreciate your time today. It was great having you here, Gafur. And
I also want to
anytime.
add to our listeners. Oh, sorry. I just want to add to our listeners that if you have any more questions, please feel free to comment below. Well, first of all, do subscribe. There's got to be a button somewhere. And also, if you have even more questions, you're welcome to email us at immigrantbazaar@gmail.com. We can forward those questions to Gafur. And yeah, I want to thank you again. It's been great.
That said, we thank you very much for being with us, and we look forward to see you next time. Until then, enjoy and have a great rest of your day.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
More episodes to come.